Folks, welcome to Werewolf Radar, the world's premier paranormal preparedness podcast. My name's Jordan Dahl.
I am Nate Baldwin.
I am Roger Norquist.
And today's episode of Werewolf Radar is brought to you by the Monstroco Spray-On Helmet. Simply apply this 38-ounce can of aerosolized polymers all over your head, encasing it in a near-impervious shell of murky keratin. This bad boy will stop a bullet, a football player, falling debris, and definitely human breathing. Spray-on helmet from Monstroco. Don't forget the nose holes.
Wait, so it's a full face helmet?
Yeah, there's only really one way to cover your head in a spray-on kind of shellac of polymers and keratins, and it's to kind of spray it all over your whole head. So yeah, it's a big ball of glue, but
it's by getting into a spray chamber.
Yeah, you get into the Monstroco spray chamber is sold separately, and that could technically apply this, but that would be kind of an all-over situation, and I think that's good. You know, it's bear-proof, but you're not going to be moving for a while.
To be honest, I find use for it. I'm working out more, so I like to spray it all over my face, let it set, and then I'm doing head presses. Perfectly.
I was gonna say your head looks huge, dude.
Dude, it's so big. It's gained some gains. My head's pretty swole now.
It's crazy. Covered in vascular face muscles. That's a good soup making head right there.
Yeah,
that's the one you want.
That's where you want your face muscles.
I wear it every time I leave the house at this point. I cover my head in a keratinous shell, and I'm stopping, cars, birds, rocks, whatever the neighborhood kids throw at me. My own head falling down a lot. But head's fine. Don't forget the nose holes. I guess you could do eye holes.
I would, to be safe.
See why you would.
Yeah. Well, but to be safe, first of all, there's so much shit flying in my eyes on a daily basis.
But that's the thing is, the helmet protects that. The grass can't get in. Trees can't get in.
Metal signs. I'd be basically hurricane proof if
you got 4 or 5 of these cans and a couple of friends willing to do it, I'll bet you could spray on a helmet yourself to the sidewalk out in front of your place during a hurricane. And just kind of exist there like a little extremophile, like a little water bear or something.
And that's the dream.
And emerge in 1,000 years.
Well, I'll see you guys in 1,000 years. That's what I'm doing after we record this.
Monstroco spray-on helmet. Don't forget the nose holes. How's everybody doing?
I'm glad that we managed to say shitty things that are potentially about both mummies and blind people in the first 5
Listen,
minutes.
Both of those communities know what they did to us.
Mm-hmm. One created the other. That's right. Blind people the world over are making armies of mummies. And mummies are making blind people. You heard it here.
Put that on your news feed and absorb it.
Put that in your podcast and have people relate to it. Okay, I'm going to jump in here. I'm going to put it on. No, I don't want to put it on over my head. I'm not there yet. I'm going to affix it to my shoulder, Spalders, Warhammer 40K style, where it will strike fear into the hearts of my enemies and those who would betray me. I want to talk about Star Jelly. I was talking to my nephew about what we should talk about on Werewolf Radar today.
Okay.
And I mentioned Star Jelly, and it kind of blew his mind. I don't know if we've talked about it. I've threatened to talk about it a couple of times. I think maybe... Have we?
It's been
don't
so long that I cannot imagine
so.
any recent episode. We definitely need a rehash because
Okay,
Star
well-
Jelly, if I remember right, is a very serious issue we must deal with.
I think we may have mentioned it before. I think I found a pretty sloppy article, but we're gonna take another run at this because I really want to clarify that sometimes people find goo in the wake of astral phenomenon, stellar phenomenon,
Sure.
meteors, shooting stars, UFOs. Who's to say? After the fact, sometimes people find slime. This slime is referred to as star jelly, and it's been around for quite a while. This is from the Wikipedia. Star jelly is a gelatinous substance, sometimes found on grass and less commonly on the branches of trees. No, we've talked about ectoplasm a little bit.
Yeah, this
I
is
think,
ectoplasmy.
It's ectoplasm adjacent. According to folklore, it is deposited on the earth during meteor showers. It is described as translucent or grayish-white gelatin that tends to evaporate shortly after having fallen. We'll talk about some possible explanations for what it is a little later on, but the history, there have been reports of star jelly for centuries. John of Gaddesden is a medieval English physician.
Ooh.
He mentions stella terra, Latin for star of the earth, or earth star, in his medical writings, describing it as a certain mucilaginous substance lying upon the earth. Mucilaginous, y'all.
That's a good word.
He suggests that it might be used to treat abscesses, and then I accidentally hovered over the word abscesses and saw a picture of an abscess.
Oh.
A 14th century Latin medical glossary has an entry for uligo, described as, quote, a certain fatty substance emitted from the earth that is commonly called a star which has fallen. Similarly, an English-Latin dictionary from around 1440 has an entry for sterslime, or sterslime, which with the Latin equivalent given as asub, a rendering of Arabic ashshub, also used in medieval Latin as a term for falling or shooting star. In the Welsh, it has been referred to as one of those Welsh words that has a W where it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Is the W a vowel maybe, and it makes more sense?
I think it's pudra? Pudser, meaning rot from the stars. Wild.
So this has been happening, as you said, for a while and
centuries.
Some good distance. We got Arabic words for it, Welsh words for it.
People have been finding slime on the ground and attributing it to stars, or falling stars, or melting stars. This Welsh word seems to imply that it is a rot from the stars. It's like what's left after a star falls. 1910, T.M. Hughes ruminated in Nature, which is a magazine, a British weekly scientific journal, as to why poets and ancient writers associated meteors with star jelly and observed that the jelly seemed to, quote, grow out from among the roots of grass. The Oxford English Dictionary lists a large number of other names for the substance, with references dating back to 1440. Y'all? 1440.
Okay.
There's a wild time in English. This is the in-between period to where we're moving from Middle English or the English in Chaucer to now Shakespearean English. A wild time for historical linguistics.
Which
we
is perhaps why.
We started talking to skulls in the opening sequence.
Oh, that made the speaking skull vibrate slightly.
It likes to be talked about.
Which is probably potentially the reason why they had so many words for this stuff. In English Latin Dictionary from 1440 mentions star jelly alongside all these other names: star fallen, star falling, star jelly, star shot, star slime, star slough, or slough, star slubber, star spurt, and star slutch.
Nice. That last one sounds like a slur.
Boy, they're getting so close to saying star jizz, but they just
Like-
won't do it.
Everything but.
Star spurt, pretty close.
And I've definitely brought up the image by now in editing. Like, YouTube, in the comments, does this look like some fluid, if you
Would
will?
you like to jizz on a star? So some people think that it might be the slime mold Enteridium lycoperdon. So slime molds, mushrooms that look pretty weird. There's some scientific analysis and theories on the Wikipedia page. So Mycarium nucleatum, a clear gelatinous fungus that grows on decaying wood. Pretty solid suspect, I would say. Observations made of star jelly in Scotland, everybody drink, support the theory that one origin of star jelly is spawn jelly from frogs or toads, which has been vomited up by amphibian-eating creatures, which they call glorpchons. I made that up. The German terms Sternenrotz, star snot,
Good name for it, Germany.
Which I wish you had made up.
and Meteorgalert, that's a French word. Gaillard or Meteorgalert. Meteor jelly are known to refer to more or less digested frog spawn vomited by predators. Okay, a related theory is that it derives from the glands in the oviducts of frogs and toads. Gross. Birds and mammals eat the animals, but not the oviducts, which they then come into contact with moisture, swell, and distort, leaving a vast pile of jelly-like substance. Gross.
And as we all know, animals are very good at not eating the entire thing.
That is
That
true.
they're
They pick and
Fucking
choose.
killing.
No, that's true. Bears, when they eat the salmon, when the salmon are running and they can just like pick them like fruits from the ocean.
Yeah.
Not the ocean, that other place.
Scooping them.
Yeah, scooping them. They eat just the skin and the brains. They leave the meat. I think they eat the organs, but they eat all the fatty parts. They eat their favorite parts.
That's wild. I thought they ate the whole thing.
I know. When
Should we
there's
be
two,
following bears?
just picking up the delicious fillets that have been bear selected.
Allowing them to make our government
Sure.
whatever.
Nostoc, a type of freshwater blue-green algae, forms spherical colonies made of filaments. Slime molds are possible causes, appearing suddenly, exhibiting a very gelatinous appearance. So on and so forth. Various goops could be to cause or to blame for star jelly sightings. However, it doesn't deter from the fact that there are tons of them. This is from cryptozoology.fandom.com. This is the article on star jelly, and these are some examples of times when star jelly was encountered. November 11th, 1846, a luminous object estimated at 4 feet in diameter fell at Lowville, New York, leaving behind a heap of foul-smelling luminous jelly that disappeared quickly, according to Scientific American publication. 1950, 4 Philadelphia, Pennsylvania policemen reported the discovery of, quote, a domed disc of quivering jelly, 6 feet in diameter, 1 foot thick at the center, and an inch or 2 near the edge. When they tried to pick it up, it dissolved into an odorless, sticky scum. This incident inspired the movie The Blob.
I definitely see that. Walking upon one of these.
Odorless, sticky scum. Strange. August 11, 1979, Mrs. Sybil Christian of Frisco, Texas, reported the discovery of several purple blobs of goo on her front yard following the Perseid meteor shower. A follow-up investigation by reporters and an assistant director at the Fort Worth Museum of Science and History discovered a battery reprocessing plant outside of town where caustic soda was used to clean impurities from the lead in the batteries, resulting in a purplish compound as a byproduct. The report was greeted with some skepticism, however, as the compounds at the reprocessing center were solid, whereas the blobs on Mrs. Christian's lawn were gelatinous. Others have pointed out that Mrs. Christian had tried to clear them off of her lawn with a garden hose, which may have caused them to absorb the water and become gelatinous.
Soften them up a little bit. I can see that.
Who knows? December 1983, a grayish-white oily gelatin fell on North Reading, Massachusetts. Thomas Grinley reported finding it on his lawn on the streets and sidewalks and dripping from gas station pumps. Brody.
Well, I mean, that seems weird. Also, if you think there's gas dripping around, something has happened.
Is this one especially because of the oily gelatin? Sorry, I said that insane. Was of this nature. Could this maybe be one of them frog raining episodes, but with an oil spill somewhere around Massachusetts? You know,
could be any number of things. I mean, I think if we're gathering anything from this, is that there's kind of no unifying theory of star jelly other than it seems to potentially maybe sometimes appear after meteor showers.
Yeah,
seems like it's soil based.
On several dates in 1994. A gelatinous rain fell on Oakville, Washington. The story was featured in a 1995 episode of Unsolved Mysteries, a National Geographic video called, quote, Mystery Goo Rain advances a conspiracy theory using an interview with microbiologist Mike Dowell, who says he tested the substance and speculated that it was a, quote, matrix containing Pseudomonas fluorescens and Enterobacter cloacae that could cause illness to those who touched it. In the video, McDowell claims that, quote, the sample went missing, and when he asked the management what happened to it, he was told, do not ask, leading him to believe this material was manufactured by someone for some purpose, and that the town was, quote, chosen as a test site, which is something that has been proven that the government will do.
Yeah, you're very much right to it.
Even if it's only like fluorescent tracking dye or something to see how far they could spread an illness. They do that shit.
I mean, you have Tuskegee experiment, of course, as well. Like, the government's definitely done some shit.
Yeah.
Also, our fingernails and toenails are matrices.
There you have it, everybody.
I forgot where I learned that. Probably biology.
In 1997, a similar substance fell in the Everett, Washington area. Nate, you might be familiar with that place in the world. On the evening of November 3rd, 1996, a meteor was reported flashing across the sky of Kempton, Australia, just outside of Hobart. Sorry. The next morning, white translucent slime was reportedly discovered on the lawns and sidewalks of the town. Star jelly was found on various Scottish hills in the autumn of 2009. It was found around Ullswater in the Lake District in October 2018, wherever that might be. I'm guessing Ullswater sounds British somehow. Scottish. Blue balls of jelly rained down on a man's garden in Dorset in January 2012. I remember this.
Yeah, I think this is what brought me into it as well, because these are... The pictures up right now on the YouTube. Yeah. These were like very alien-esque, like I like something out of Mass Effect.
Yeah, so they
something
actually
like the Asari give birth, or not. They lay and then you do your male job upon them.
Gross and a bummer.
Look into the lore, people.
I wonder if anybody did that. Has anyone tried fertilizing them? Please don't. Those were actually proven to be super absorbent polymer granules, like those Orbeez from somewhere. So, several deposits of star jelly were discovered at the Ham Wall Nature Reserve in England in February 2013.
Why is it called that? What
Well,
does
because
ham mean?
that's where the Ham Wall is. It's like the Great Barrier Reef of England, but it's a massive wall of ham separating, and some would say protecting, the English from the wily Scots who want to steal their ham. But of course, because there's a wall there, that's as far as the Scots get, and they're like, "Look, ham!" And they shave off and go back to camp. Anyway, that is kind of the long and short on some sightings and some theories about star jelly. It seems to have fallen out of fashion of recent. There have been few and fewer reports of star jelly as we become more and more knowledgeable of the natural world and slime molds and things of this nature. However, this connection between meteors and star jelly still seems to be difficult to shake. So next time you're out there watching the Perseid showers, watch out for cum.
Yep.
Is what I'm saying.
When you're looking up, you also got to look down.
Could come at you from any angle. Pow, pow, pow.
This also has an air of that segment you did where I think it was called the day the UFO stopped play about the soccer game in Italy.
Oh, yeah, yes.
Oh, yeah.
There's a
Wait,
lot of
President's
similarities
Lodge.
in that to where, like, didn't that evaporate very fast too?
Yeah,
Like, it
yeah.
was more spider webbish in that case, though.
Yeah.
But
Truth, yeah.
But it is
After-
the same thing.
Similar deal. Similar deal.
I guess we all come a little bit different, you know? Some of us in
it's shooting
glob.
webs
Yeah.
that float in the air like an angel's gossamer.
Well, I
It's
thought
also
about being able to make us
dangerous.
unexplicit so we could get more views, but here we are
We've
with
done
more
it.
explicit content.
More explicit than ever.
I'm gonna have to put the extra E on the ratings this episode. Anyway, can I have the
Well,
speaking school?
Please.
Please
It
do.
is,
Okay.
it's no longer on me.
Yes, I took it while you were sleeping.
Yikes. Mamma mia.
2 weeks ago, I was talking about the Enfield Monster.
Ah, yes.
And we're going to continue that with the Enfield Monster Part 2,
Folie à deux.
Folie à deux. Last week, we're talking about this creature.
Are we
It-
a
2 weeks ago.
European podcast now?
We're trying to figure out somewhere to go, maybe stay for an indeterminate amount of time in a different country
Mm-hmm.
on an expired visa. We're students.
I'm thinking I'm going to go to Pennsylvania. I've always wanted to visit.
We're in Enfield, Illinois. And over the course of 2-ish nights, this creature terrorizes the community. A 10-year-old Gray Garrett is scared while outside by a creature with glowing red eyes. It has 3 legs
Oh boy.
and it's kind of short-ish. We're talking between 4 to 6 feet.
Short King, got it.
Short King. Then after that, although the time is kind of not well documented, during that same night, which happened April 25th, 1973, the McDaniels get a goblin-esque
Oh.
encounter. The Hopkinsville
Hopkinsville.
goblin. Thank
Yeah,
you. Type encounter. This creature described the same way: glowing red eyes, 3 legs, a short king.
Short
By
King
all
of the night.
description, get terrorized. The children come home after having an encounter, and then they hear disturbance out in the front. And the article from Mysterious Universe says, once through the door, another time through the window, even more settling. As they were telling them, Henry noticed anonymous scratching sounds coming from the front door. As he was still listening to his children, he made his way to the front door. He has a gun. thinking he would find a neighborhood dog on the other side. When he opened it, he saw himself staring at the creature exactly described by his children and me to you. He stared at it for a moment and then shut the door.
Oh.
One of those like, nope, and just calmly shut the door right away.
That's pretty spooky.
He then gets his pistol and shoots through the door at the creature.
So he also opened the door.
He opens the door, goes, "Not today, Margaret," and then shuts the door.
Yeah.
Thank you, with a pep down. That's a joke for Eddie Pepitone.
After this encounter, there's no more for a week or several days. Like a good period of break of the horror ensues.
Jeez, finally.
They do find evidence of footprints, kind of similar to a dog's print, but they had 6 toe pads instead of 4.
All right, I hate it already.
And if you can imagine a 4-legged creature's tracks, this creature had tracks of 3 legs.
That's insane.
And benefit of the doubt, a large wolf, for example, who's wearing flashlights in his eyes, could have lost a leg, and that would maybe explain the 3-legged tracks. You know, there's still plenty of 3-legged creatures. The dog from Parks and Rec had 3 legs, if you remember.
Yeah.
Its name, Juan Carlos of Spain. Some days pass, and then after this break, the unnerving creature returned to the McDaniel house. At around 3 a.m. in the early hours of May 6th, Henry McDaniel was awoken by the sounds of an agitated barking of the neighbor's dogs. He immediately sensed that something was wrong. He jumped out of bed, scrambled for his gun as he did so before, making his way to the front door. Cautiously, he opened it and was more than shocked and surprised to see the very same creature he had seen several nights earlier. He watched it quietly as it made its way along the rail tracks that were a short distance from the property. He contemplated taking a shot at it, but recalled how ineffective the bullets had previously been, and so he remained still. After several moments, the creature disappeared into the distance.
My favorite thing about any type of guy is being woken up and grabbing a gun.
So anyway, the bullets were ineffective.
So I started blasting.
it. Yeah, it's a very much Frank Reynolds, Danny DeVito, and It's Always Sunny after he gets his gun.
Yeah.
And just starts blasting at the not blast at the creature. Sorry, because last time the bullets were ineffective, and then the creature disappears into the distance. Although there were no further sightings in the days that followed, news of the encounters was beginning to spread. At first around the town, and then into the neighboring cities and towns. So this was going viral in 1973.
Okay.
And in no time, many people, both paranormal investigators, enthusiasts, and general thrill seekers, descended upon...
My name is General Thrill Seeker.
So they all descend into Enfield, and I'm going to switch my background into something useful. Although if you have not seen The Fanatic, please rent it on YouTube or something. It is phenomenal. Here is a kind of decent drawing of the Enfield Monster. It has an adorable smile.
Look at him.
There's the 3 legs right there. It's quite the thing. I would at first, in my ignorance, shoot at it because it's
upsetting.
It's upsetting to see for my earthling sensibilities.
But looking at I like his little smile.
His little smile was adorable.
He looks like he would go.
And he's got those tiny arms, which are fun.
Yeah.
I like the chupacabra haircut it has.
Yeah, that's good. That's hot.
I'm a fan of it. Let's go back into the article. There were no further sightings.
It's not dissimilar from the dog that my roommate has.
So there were no more sightings for the next few days or so, and all sorts of people come to the town expecting to find evidence or just expecting to have a good thrill. But this reaches other cities and towns. Perhaps more of a surprise, the article goes on to say, was that several news reporters and even scientists eager to catalog a new creature arrived in the town. During this influx of people to Enfield, Henry was happy to speak to anyone who would listen about the encounter.
Gotta be first.
Eager for someone to offer an explanation as to what it was. I can only imagine him going from person to person and going, "Are you a scientist? I need to have it explained to me."
And then you get to one guy and he's like, "Oh no, what it is?" And he doesn't.
He's got a stocking cap on. He's got a scar over one eye.
Yeah. We know the type.
Let me tell you about your creature. Your monster, as you call it.
I'll land that creature for you. And I'll skin him for free.
But I get the toes.
He wants those toes.
He needs those toes. He's making a soup.
He says he wants them, but you can tell he needs them.
So the town became so busy with new arrivals, including some who were looking to hunt the creature, that the sheriff of White County even threatened to arrest Henry if he didn't stop granting interviews. The sheriff thought
suspicious.
The sheriff thought they were inflaming the situation. Tensions in Enfield increased further when several hunters were arrested for opening fire on what they thought was the creature. So this just caused insane havoc for the community. A bunch of locals trying to hunt a creature. If you don't know, this time really was like, what's the right word? This was the height of Bigfoot mania. Like a lot of your creatures get spotted in this decade or so. I believe in the early 80s, which still had part of this energy, there was a Bigfoot movie about the missing link.
Yeah.
And I think the lady and the Bigfoot fell in love.
Aww.
But not in a Virginia Woolf sort of way. This was like a sweet love. There were several sightings of the creature reported by some of those who arrived from out of town, and perhaps one of the best of these was by the news director of WWKI Radio, Rick Rainbow.
WWKI, Rick Rainbow here, reporting on the monster scene in that place.
He forgot what city he was in.
I forgot.
Enfield, Illinois, for those
Enfield. How could I forget? It's the Enfield Monster.
This is the middle of the country where cornfields roam.
Roam free.
You ever have that cage-free corn?
It's weird.
It's got teeth. Rick Rainbow claimed to have witnessed the curious entity close to the McDaniel home near an abandoned property. So the media is not doing the best job unless Rick Rainbow really sees it. I don't know why I distrust Rick Rainbow.
His name is Rick Rainbow.
Yeah.
He described...
If you instantly trust a guy named Rick Rainbow, you are a sucker.
So here's where the description changes slightly. Rick Rainbow describes the creature as being ape-like in gray.
Oh,
5 feet tall. And Rick Rainbow captured sounds of the creature on tape.
Rick Rainbow? From K what?
However, you cannot find these recordings in their, let's say, primary source.
Because he made it all up.
They were never made available to the general public. However, several reporters and researchers confirmed that they had heard the recording at least. The sounds were described as being akin to screams or shrieks. And now, over the next few days, many people in Enfield reported hearing almost identical sounds.
Jeez, is it out there just shrieking? Does it need our help?
What are the chances that Rick Rainbow disseminated this via Muppet?
You're thinking this is a Rick Rainbow, John.
Okay, so I'm going to go Google who this is.
Rick Rainbow put this together with his buddies from Special Effects, and he's like Mysterio.
Also, Googling Rick Rainbow.
Yeah, you also
I don't know if
tried.
you're gonna find the actual guy.
Yeah, I typed
You're gonna
in
find a lot of
WWK
porn stars.
I typed in WWKI radio Rick Rainbow, and here's the images that I found, and we can decide here on the show who's who. We have Rick Rainbow.
Oh, that's
one.
That's Rick Wrigley.
Okay, gay porn star. Yeah.
Yeah, don't look at the description, okay? Or we have Ricky Rainbow.
That's not him.
You don't think this is either one?
Also gay porn star.
So I don't know who it is, although there's a Rainbow Six Siege Rainbow, and
Yeah, what's going on there? It's Rick and Morty?
it seems to be Rick and Morty related. So
Like a rat head? What is that?
yeah, picture a guy in a
No.
rat head with
Oh,
the
it's
rat
pickle,
head.
It's the Pickle Rick thing, I see.
Well, that was stupid.
Boy, that's also gay porn stars. But
Dude, first of all, gay porn
Disappointing.
is a lot more adventurous, a lot more unique to their
I'm not
choices.
saying anything bad about it.
And secondly of all, Pickle Rick rules.
In
I'm a
fact,
huge Pickle Rick head. I got a full back piece.
some would say a tramp stamp, but
Some
it's just
would.
really big.
Pickle Rick is 9 3/4 inches.
So we have here the story changed. Like I said, it no longer is this creature behind me that is somewhat reptilian or not otherworldly, but not exactly ape-like by any stretch of the
Sure.
imagination. And Rick Rainbow's report does not have the three-legged feature that was so prevalent in your was it
Rick.
Greg Abbott, Greg Garrett, or Henry McDaniel's sighting?
Oh yeah, I want it to be a Greg Abbott sighting.
Little Greg Abbott, when he was 10 years old, walked down a road with too much history. So over the next few days, several people start hearing the sounds reported on via Rick Rainbow's audio that was never released but confirmed to
Rick
exist.
Rainbow.
Then, just like that, the sounds and sightings suddenly came to a stop. Whatever the creature might be or have been, and why it suddenly started terrorizing the population of Enfield remained a complete mystery. The figure, at least officially, was never heard of or from again.
Pretty spooky. Could still be out there, folks.
5 years later, in 1978, several researchers returned to Enfield to re-examine the sightings of the beastly creature, and what they found interesting during the course of their investigation was that despite many recorded sightings at the time, they could only find 3 people who recalled seeing the Enfield monster themselves. So this definitely had, as I think the previous paragraph with the Rick Rainbow report on sounds, a lot of people were just going like, yeah, I heard it. I saw the creature.
You know that's what Rick Rainbow called his show, the Rick Rainbow Report.
And that's truly going to close my segment on the Enfield case of the Enfield Monster. But
We'll call it a
Enfield
horror.
and the
Why?
Illinois area is rich with creature sightings.
Crawling with them.
Like, it's just not the Enfield Monster. There's several Bigfoot sightings. I have a small list of them. We might go on. One of them is called the Coal Hollow Road Monster. Sometimes known as the Cohomo Monster.
Okay. That feels like people at its high school are making fun of it.
Just a little bit. The Turtle Bottoms Monster.
Okay.
Again, with high school making fun.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, your kind of classic two huge birds flying low over the yard monster.
The old double bird.
Well, I'm gonna stop rubbing the back of the head of the speaking skull.
Thank God.
It makes its jaw go up and down, you know?
Yeah, I know what it does.
And I'm going to put it in this bag of teleportation. And Nate, I do believe it should appear in your bag of holding in about a second or three.
Oh. So it has. And I will continue rubbing it.
Gotta rub your skull, people. Let's put that on a shirt too. Rub your skull.
Rub your skulls, everybody. And I thought it would be fun to. This will be posted after the Super Bowl.
Yeah, make your predictions now. Let's see if we're right. The Super Bowl has not happened. We are recording at 11:50 Mountain Time, so the Super Bowl has not started yet.
I think
that there are going to be 17 different kicks from the ghost.
I think that the armies of Slanesh will descend upon the game.
Nice.
And the whole thing will erupt in kind of an orgy of blood and sex and cannibalism.
To be honest, both of those kind of make my prediction of the Chiefs kind of bland.
No, Chiefs could take it. Chiefs could take it.
You know, the army allows them. So, Super Bowl?
Super Bowl?
Yeah, so
Some sort of Super Bowl thing?
This first thing we've got is coming from Medium and awesomely opens with "Greetings, traveler."
What's up?
Which
What's up, dude?
can't be good.
Thanks for recognizing the skill.
And we have a fun story about a defensive tackle out of Ohio playing for the Cowboys in, I think, 23.
Okay.
Anyway, Big Time Hank.
Nice. That is a good name.
Big Time Hank?
Big Time Hank. Apparently, media producer, professional ghost hunter, and ghost adventurer Jay Wasley recently led Hank's channel into his home for a sit-down interview.
Hank's
Credited-
channel?
Well, he's got a YouTube page.
I'm at
so
it. I'm
I
at it
think
right
that's what
now.
they're-
Big Time Hank.
This in-depth soup to nuts interview was entertaining and informative from beginning to end. As for Jay, he has to be. So this guy is haunted and is seeking hauntings.
Okay.
While
This
he's
is-
also an NFL player.
That's crazy. I love everything about that.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
And it looks like he has seen a lot of weird shit.
He also, his brand is Born to Hustle.
You know,
It's a brand based on his values.
Okay. Which involve hustling.
Yeah,
I'm
see,
told.
I'm now subscribed to the Big Time Hank channel.
Okay.
I suggest you all do as well.
Every day you're hankling.
Every day I'm hankling.
then this article, of course, comes up with Jimmy Hoffa
Of course.
could still be haunting Ford Field.
Sure. Why wouldn't he?
I don't know what I would do if I saw Mr. Hoffa. I mean, I guess I would ask him where his body is.
Yeah, I think that'd be the
I
number
think
one.
he would probably ask you the same thing.
That's why he's at Ford Field.
Yeah.
You think he's in one part?
I think he might be in Ford Field. I think he's in the concrete. I think we need to dig up Ford Field.
Dig up his bones. Pull out his tongue.
I think we need to get a permit for digging up Ford Field.
Dig it up.
If anyone can
I think
help
they
us
have,
with that.
actually. I think they've done that.
They didn't do it the werewolf radar way.
Yeah.
And that is with a tiny shovel.
Fun. All right. What other ghosts of the gridiron do we have?
Well, we've got the story of a Panther quarterback, Sam Darnold.
Oh, is that like a werewolf quarterback?
I think it's a football team.
Well, it's
Oh, okay.
more of a football team, but
I see.
also he did become a Panther.
Aha!
He transformed into the Panther, bit the ball, and just jumped over the scrimmage,
I've
scoring
seen
a touchdown.
1,000 times.
Darnold was taken out of the University of Southern California with the 3rd overall pick in the 2018 NFL draft by the Jets.
Nice.
So he was guaranteed to lose.
Jets suck.
Wow.
Despite,
Take that, the Jets.
despite a great college career, he was named All-American Team as a freshman and won the Archie Griffin Award, which is essentially like a college MVP.
Okay. I thought that was the Heisman. I don't know anything about football, for being honest.
I have no idea.
It might. What
It's not important to our purposes here.
It is not. He apparently injured his foot several times.
Ooh.
Oh no!
Threw a fuck
That's-
ton of interceptions.
You
I
need-
mean, that's
and-
just quarterback life.
well,
No
you're supposed-
judgment.
You're supposed to catch those with your hands, but
And got mono.
oh wow!
What?
So he would kiss the ball, yeah, a little bit. Sure, all good. All the greats do it.
And some greats get mono.
Some greats get mono. That's how they pass it around.
He was
yeah.
apparently blitzed so many times. This is insane. Blitzed so many times that he threw 4 interceptions and lost a fumble.
Wow.
So he's far from
No, he's like a bad quarterback.
yeah.
He really doesn't seem like he's their best.
Okay.
But
So,
also, Bill Belichick wanted to hurt him,
Yeah.
and
Bill.
they made it.
and to be fair, I know Madden football. I played some Madden football. Me and Sam have gotten down on it. Hundreds of hours put in this.
Yeah.
Blitzes, when you just keep doing blitzes, you make mistakes. You get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Shit happens.
He did say later on that he was seeing ghosts.
Oh,
What?
football ghosts? Ghosts of victories that eluded him?
Like Angels in the Enfield?
With
The
Exactly
straight
like
to
Angels in the
DVD,
Infield.
the straight to DVD sequel to Angels in the Outfield.
There's no way that's what it was called.
Oh, can't remember.
Oh, you're probably right.
Oh no, it's Angels in the Enfield, and it's still a baseball movie.
Oh, in the infield.
Yes.
No,
I thought
well,
you
that's-
said. I thought you were gonna say Angels in Enfield, and it was about monsters.
No, it does exist. It wasn't a fever dream, and Christopher Lloyd returns for the
Whoa.
sequel in Angels in the End Zone.
The original CeeLo, Christopher Lloyd.
So anyway,
damn,
like
do I have
that.
to watch this stupid movie now.
No, you absolutely do not.
Anyway, I mean, he blamed the fact that he was bad at the game on seeing ghosts.
Okay.
I mean,
Spooky.
would you be good at anything if you were just constantly seeing ghosts?
No.
Well,
You know, like
you made him sound like Shaggy there. Whoa.
like what
I-
happened? Like,
I
are
think
we
I would get
missing
used
something?
to it after a while, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking, I guess. Was this all the time he could see ghosts? Like the Sixth Sense kid, this is just what he does? Or did he almost die during a mono?
Does he even know that he sees ghosts? Or is he just being constantly traumatized?
I don't know. I don't know.
This is pretty wacky though. This one broke me a little bit.
This one's wacky.
He's seeing ghosts. He can't
Maybe he just
work
has
under these conditions.
CTE.
Ooh. A blitz got him. The first blitz broke his brain.
Yeah, and now he's seeing ghosts. Remember in Beetlejuice, those football player ghosts?
Oh yeah, the ones that
Oh yes, they died
didn't make it to the NFL.
yeah, they died in a van accident or something.
Yeah, the bus crashed. I don't think we made it to the game or something.
And then
Anyway,
she's like, sit down.
yeah. Stop calling me coach.
Well, that's as far as I can tell. All the weird things about Paranormal NFL.
That last one was a fun one to think about. Trying to play a professional game as, I don't know, the ghost of a hot dog merchant throws a ghost hot dog at you.
Why would he throw a hot dog at you? You're a coworker.
Because that's what he's doing. He's all like, hot dog, and just tossing them out.
You're giving this a very Ghostbusters aesthetic, where the ghosts are kind of shenanigans based. They like to. They're here to cause a ruckus. They're not here for a long time. They're here for a wild time.
He'd throw a hot dog because he accidentally turned around and faced the crowd, and instead of being a quarterback, he's a vendor.
Frightening things. Have you ever been a hot dog vendor? Do you know the pressure that they're under? Making sure they're sliding long dogs into your hand, covered in various toppings of your choosing.
Yeah, that does sound pretty good.
I want a hot dog now as well.
That sounds pretty dope. Not gonna lie. I'm gonna go get 3 hot dogs. Folks, thank you for listening to another episode of Werewolf Radar. We love and appreciate you. If you really liked what we did here today, why? How can we do more of it?
Yeah, let us know in the comments what you liked and how we can do more of it for you.
And let us know what you didn't like and argue with us.
Yes, I will be in the comments fighting each and every one of you this week.
Oh, I won't. My feelings get hurt too easily.
Oh yeah, now I'm gonna cry throughout the whole thing.
Oh, weeping. Weeping, I say. Yeah, if you really liked what we did, go check us out on patreon.com/werewolfradar. You can become a Dark Council member. You get an extra episode every week. Most weeks. You get to come and hang out with us while we record. There's additional goodies and art and things that you will have access to.
We have a mug level.
There's a mug. You know what a ghost in your house could do with a mug?
Dude, it could chuck it.
Huck it.
It could muck it.
Mm-hmm. We need to
fries it.
We need to make mugs that say like official Huckin' mug.
We can swap that out for this year.
Official ghost Huckin' mug. Ghost.
I'll get on that.
Huck me.
And then when it's new, it'll be a new item.
Yeah.
It doesn't change anything. So like you can get the old mug still until I change it. And then when it's changed, you can get the new mug. That's how the Patreon works. Patreon.com/werewolfradar.
2 mugs every day.
Support us so we can get $1 million a month and buy America's haunted houses.
Buy America's haunted houses. Protect America's haunted houses.
Children stay in them.
Not force. Let. but
Okay.
study the effects.
Yes,
Sure.
we're there behind the mirror.
Mm-hmm. Making
Watching
sure
them
all goes according to plan. No plans. Check us out on social media, Werewolf Radar. You know about it. If you've come this far, you know where to find us. Werewolf Radar. Plug it into the old internet, the old pornograph.
We can now be found on Yahoo.
On Yahoo Answers. If you search "What is Werewolf Radar," I think you'll be pretty impressed by what you find.
Yeah,
Possibly
it's
Bing.
pretty good.
I think that does it for this episode. So until next time, as ever, our sign-off line. Please join us on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Punch the sky,
Spaceman
Joe.
Punch the sky, Spaceman, everyone.